Nobody wins when the family feels.
That's a female. Hey, Rick, you see? Yeah, that's gonna be your good Meech. That's your good Meech right there. That's the place right there. You're really driving this pickup truck. We're gonna be tagging them on this way.
Was he carrying anything? I couldn't tell.
Hey, LA, Atlanta, Detroit, we have homes, our own homes. We don't have to go in and rent shit. We got our own houses, we got our own cars, we got our own hoes, we got our own clothes. You know what I'm saying? And we can't be stopped. I don't see nobody stop. I don't see none to come after us either. None. Nobody will never do this again, because this many niggas and this much money can't get along and stay together. They gonna fall out over girls or something. We don't fall out over no girls. We hit them all. They hit my hoes, I hit they hoes. The ones that don't want to be shared, then that's your own personal one. Other than that, then we ain't falling out over no hoes.
Not my brother's character.
It was a shock to his father and I. A lot of things that I did not know about Demetrius and Terry that was going on. I read about them on the news and stuff. I don't know if it was to keep, Mom from worrying about him or what, but it was a shock.
Flenory's parents were in court. They wouldn't comment as they left the jail, but his defense attorney insists his client is no killer.
I have somebody that's been shot and has been the victim of aggravated assault. I mean, he received a serious gunshot wound. That really appears to be the evidence.
Being a leader of a criminal organization and invade and capture is a rarity in itself, but even more so is the ability to serve time and then return to a life of legitimacy with one's reputation intact. Most individuals in such position face the consequences of their actions, often leading to a tarnished name and a life of stigma. However, a select few manage to navigate the complexities of the legal system, serving their sentences without fully losing their credibility. Upon release, they have the opportunity to rewrite their narrative, reinventing themselves in the eyes of society, and often leveraging their past experiences into a legitimate and respected new life. This transformation is not just about a personal redemption. It's a testament to the complexities of identity and the human capacity for reinvention. One in a billion. Meet one, Demetrius Flenory, aka Big Meech, a man whose name been ringing bells, even having a hit TV series with his son being a star role, almost 2 decades since he been incarcerated. Recent reports have been released that Big Meech has been released from the feds into a halfway house with the soon release date, which we'll later reveal. Today we go over Big Meech's story. Some would consider a living legend, from his upbringing in the D, making a name for himself in the A, across the world, to getting shot, later arrested, and now living to create a new journey with his integrity intact after paying his debt to society. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. Black Mafia family, aka BMF, was a significant drug trafficking and money laundering operation, allegedly, that emerged in the late 1980s and became prominent in the 1990s. Founded by brothers Demetrius, Big Meech Flenory, and Terry Southwest T. Flenory in Detroit, BMF quickly expanded its operation beyond Michigan, establishing a network that reached major cities across the United States, including Atlanta, Los Angeles, and Miami. BMF started as a small drug operation, but grew quickly due to its savvy business strategies and connections. The group was involved in distributing seed, developing a reputation for high-quality products, and aggressive marketing tactics. The organization leveraged social networks and local relationships, allowing them to dominate the drug trade in various regions. They built a brand that was connected with luxury and access, often flaunting their wealth through extravagant parties, cars, and lifestyle. Now, BMF had cultural influence as well. It was not just a drug organization, and at least according to Big Meech, it became a cultural phenomenon. They had significant connections to the hip-hop industry, collaborating with artists and influencing the rap scene. Their lifestyle was often glamorized in songs and music, like Rick Ross, I Think I BMF.
I think I'm Big Meech. Larry
BMF even had their own artists, but Big Meech alone, his aura in particular, became an iconic figure. He was known for his larger-than-life persona and charisma, embodying the image of success and power that appealed to many in the urban culture. They even had a media presence, billboards downtown. The organization was known for its lavish parties and public displays with wealth, which garnered media attention. BMF often featured and discussed about the intersection of hip-hop culture and street life, contributing to the glamorization of drug dealing in popular media. But like they say, fam, nothing good lasts forever, cause they downfall and incarceration will soon come. Law enforcement and the crackdown. In 2005, after years of investigation, the FBI launched a significant operation against BMF, culminating in a series of arrests. The organization was charged with various offenses, including drug trafficking and money laundering. But before him and his brother and his crew would get arrested in 2008 for trafficking and money laundering, Big Meech was fighting 2 murders for an incident in the Atlanta nightclub that left 2 brothers deceased. November 11, 2003, Anthony Wolf Jones, also known as P. Diddy bodyguard, and a guy named Lamont Gritty had lost their life. May they rest in peace and love and condolences to their families. This incident allegedly involved Big Meech, but it was no proof that he had done the shooting. He was also charged. Allegedly, all this stemmed from a stripper that worked at the club. A shootout ensued, and Wolf and Lamont had lost their life. The nightclub was on Bowling Way in Buckhead Village after a hip-hop night, quote-unquote, at Chaos nightclub. Police also mentioned that Meech may have knew the 2 men. Police hoped that a security camera tape from the neighborhood restaurant would help clarify whether they were dealing with a case of M or self-defense. But Meech was later let go after being represented by one of the best lawyers based out of Atlanta, Drew Fallon. But this how dangerous the feds play, fam. As soon as Big Meech was released, him, 41 individuals, was charged in a RICO by the feds on a 41-page indictment. They did that on purpose. It was June 15, 2006, but they had alleged evidence dating back almost a decade ago on May 10, 1999 in Polk County, where Texas police had seized around 18 kilograms of C, all the way to September of 2005, where the feds seized over 100 kilograms of C that were possessed with the intent to distribute in a house controlled by Terry, aka Southwest T, in California, with the feds alleging this operation started in 1990. In 2008, both brothers were sentenced to 30 years. But just 12 years later, with the pandemic playing a huge part, Southwest T was released in May of 2020.
Infamous brothers known for heading up an international cocaine empire called the Black Mafia family are back in the news tonight. In 2008, Terry and Demetrius Flenory were sentenced to 30 years in federal prison. But because of the COVID-19 pandemic, one of those brothers just got released. 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell with more on this.
They're the leaders of the Black Mafia family, and they're from Southwest Detroit. Right now, Demetrius Flenory is in federal lockup, asking for his freedom because of the dangers of COVID-19. And his brother, Terry Flenory, is being freed because of the virus. This is the post on Instagram from Curtis 50 Cent Jackson saying Black Mafia boss Southwest T is out. Take your time getting to the bank. No hurry, just have what you owe him by Monday. 50 Cent has been promoting an 8-episode series on the Black Mafia family that he's writing for Stars. It will tell the story of 2 brothers from Detroit who built a drug empire, then tried to turn it into a legitimate hip-hop business, promoting stars such as Young Jeezy. It all came crashing down when they were convicted of running a criminal enterprise that made more than $270 million.
Demetrius Flenory is a loyal and humble and good person at his core.
Birmingham attorney Wade Fink represents Demetrius Flenory and has asked the court to release him due to medical conditions that could put him at risk of death from COVID-19. He shared with us these pictures of the man known as Big Meech with his son, saying his client wants to be a role model for young men. While the U.S. attorney has argued he should stay locked up for his crimes, pointing out that Big Meech was a suspect in the murder of 2 men, including a bodyguard for hip-hop star Sean Puff Daddy Combs.
At 51 years old, he wants to prove that he can use, the stature he built for good. And I believe that because I've gotten to know him. And the people that know him also believe that. The person that doesn't know him, Kim, is the United States Attorney.
While Terry Flenory is being released, he is going to be put on house arrest. A judge will decide the future of Demetrius Flenory. Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
All right, thank you much, Kim.
Shortly after, the living legend 50 Cent will link up with Southwest T and Lil Meech to start the iconic TV series BMF. At this point, the BMF family was starting to look things on the up. They was making Big Meech proud while incarcerated, giving his 2 cents to his son to perfect his role. But then questions would start to circulate. When would Big Meech come home? Shortly after his brother was released, May 28, 2020, Big Meech will file a motion for compassionate release or request for home confinement. Now the feds had their index of exhibits. 1 was Big Meech inmate data sheet. 2 was his 2019 medical record. 3 was his 2020 medical records. 4 was his request for reduction in sentence. 5, his transcript of the May 2020 compassionate release motion. 6, his Atlanta, Georgia police records. 7, his BMF Wikipedia page. 8 and 9 was an interview that was released on Vlad TV from a 2011 interview with Carvio here. Check out a clip. They was emphasizing Big Meech, making a comparison between a rat and a person that stand on 10, which he did, considering he didn't tell. Check it out.
Like, they're not doing what they doing for the bread. They're really not interested in the bread. They want the adulation. They want motherfuckers to go, ooh, look, it's him. That's what they want.
They want the recognition. Well, I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say that they want both. Sorry, you know. They want the glitz and the glamour and the glory, and they want the money too. But just by the time they look up after they finish drinking with everybody and a year or two done went by, they didn't make no profit. You look up, you done sank all these millions into this spot or these spots, and you didn't make no profit. You know, it's fun. It's still funny today how every entertainer, athlete, or whatever, everybody want to live like they selling kilos. You know, everybody. That's because that's the real American dream. Right. That's it. That's the American dream. Everybody want to live like they sell dope or they sold dope. And only thing is they didn't have to risk their lives really selling dope. So they're more comfortable with trying it. You know, they got the Porsche outside, they got the club, they got the diamonds on their neck. You know what I'm saying? But a person that really comes from the street like that, you know, he don't got people coming up trying to rob him or none of that because he got the respect. It's the respect of coming from the ground up. You don't get that respect just because you get a entertainment check. You know what I'm saying? That respect is earned, you know, like dudes like, yeah, I remember him, man. He got years out here. You know what I mean? People come in the club, and I done heard robbers come in the club, you know, and the robbing crew come in the club, and one dude like, man, look at them dudes over there. The dude chop and say, nah, man, not them. Them dudes want it, man. We not running over there. Now, if they'd have looked over there and they'd have seen one of them athletes, then they might would have, okay, we're going to wait for him after the club, take his chain. You know, all we got to do is shoulder pistol on him.
Right, exactly.
They weren't trying that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, we got our jury on all time of the night or day, from Maine to Spain.
That's right.
You don't really, the rats get to go home. They're at home. They sending pictures back with money, leaning on trucks. They fucking their girls, and they got a crew right with them. You know what I'm saying? The real niggas in here is in the hole like myself, because you got too much influence on the fucking jail compound, and you don't do I ain't do nothing but try to break up a fight, but just because so many people from D.C., Florida, and different races come to get me out of the hole saying that I'm a good man and I shouldn't be back there and I didn't do nothing wrong. Oh, he got too much influence on the compound at Jessup, Georgia. So they shipped me out of there to the USP, administrative transfer. But they trying to send me to a SMU prison program, like I'm some type of gang leader or something. You know what I'm saying? When the feds ain't never labeled me no gang leader. I'm not in that. BMF Entertainment is my company. I got articles of incorporation. I got LLC and trademark to this company. So it's not a fucking gang. You know what I mean? But this is what you got to deal with: keeping it real, being real, staying 100, however you want to call it. You know what I mean? But I can go to any prison in the world, anywhere. Paperwork good. Face good, you know what I'm saying? Whereas these rats, though, they right back out. I mean, that's becoming a fad, man, and it's just a shame that that's becoming a fad. I don't know if or when that cycle will ever break.
Now, Exhibit 10 was BMF Entertainment articles of incorporation, showing how technically Blue Da Vinci, Big Meech artist, is the owner of BMF Entertainment. Exhibit 11 was Big Meech BOP account balance. 12 was his IRS report dated April 29, 2006. 13 was his IRS report dated February 13, 2007. 14 was Charles Flenory PSR, who I believe was his dad, according to the show. 15 was Charles Judgment. 16 was his DEA report dated back April of 2006. 17 was his BOP home confinement. 18 was Big Meech's first step act sheet. Ultimately, Big Meech was denied. But in 2024, February 27, Big Meech was granted a reduction of his sentence from 324 months, which is 30 years, to 292 months, which is 24 years and 4 months. But after doing a little less than 2 decades, on the second week of October of 2024, Big Meech was released to the halfway house. And if all things go smooth, Big Meech will be released, according to the website, 2026. As Big Meech steps back into the world after years of incarceration, he carries with him the weight of a complex legacy, a mix of ambition, access, and the harsh realities of life on the streets. His return is not just a personal renaissance, but a cultural moment that resonates deeply within the urban landscape. Meech's story is a testament. He embodies the allure of the hustle while serving as a cautionary tale of the consequences that often accompany it, as he reconnects with his roots, his family, and his community that both idolize and scrutinize him. The question remains, what will the next chapter hold for a man who once ruled the streets and the airwaves? Now, it's time for you guys to give me your thoughts in the comments, family. Let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.